201 miliónov. V roku 2022 za obidve entity sme dosiahli. Sú to aj údaje o Slovensku, ale tiež si myslím, že nemusím nejaký predstavovať, že Košice sú druhé najväčšie mesto na Slovensku. Naša priemerná populácia je 34 rokov, sú tam veľmi tri dôležité slovenské univerzity. Najdôležitejšia z nich je Slovenská technická univerzita, s ktorou úzko spolupracujeme. A náš východ, na ktorom niekto povedal, že nič nie je, tak zaznamenalo strašne veľký rast za posledných 10 rokov, hlavne v rámci odvetvia IT. Tu je naša taká company DNA, kde si môžete pozrieť, ako sme vlastne sa vyvíjali, fungovali a tak ďalej. V januári 2006 spoločnosť bola založená, mala 664 zamestnancov. K dnešnému dňu, nebudem vám čítať celú tú tabuľku, lebo je self-explanatory, máme 4290 zamestnancov. Máme samozrejme diverzitu, máme 64% mužov, 36% žien a priemerný vek našich zamestnancov je 34 rokov. Na tej spodnej DNA linke, ktorá sa na konci prepája, tak môžete vidieť vlastne všetko, k čomu sme sa venovali, od monitorovania otvorených systémov, SAP základom, cloud computingu, rôznym aplikáciám, service managementu a všetkému tomu, čo tam vidíte a tomu rozumiete viac ako mne, keďže ja som salesak, takže poďme ďalej. Toto sú hlavné oblasti, ktorým sa venujeme. Je to automotív, je to public sektor, v ktorom sa zaoberáme samosprávami. Začíname robiť prielomy aj v sfére healthcareu, čiže všeobecne v rámci zdravia a nejakých inovatívnych technológií a všeobecne komunikačná technológia. Toto sú naše vlastne k tomu predošlému, nazvime to rozpísané, že čo je to. Hej, pre biznis riešenia máme dizajnovú architektúru a plánovanie, samostatné na mieru ušité nejaké riešenia, operačný a servisný manažment, 24-hodinový support pre smart aplikácie, ktoré sú pre konečných užívateľov, je to smart home, IoT, aplikácie rôzne a takisto development aplikácií podľa požiadaviek zákazníka. V rámci bezpečnosti sa zaberáme data security, cloud tam nevidím, ale venujeme sa aj cloudom, sieťovej bezpečnosti dát klientov ako takých a certifikácia a utajovaniu ICT. Komunikácie zahŕňajú video, zvuk, sieťové veci a transferovú kapacitu našej organizácie. Tu je prehľad našich ISO noriem, ktoré spĺňame, ktoré si musíme pravidelne aktualizovať, takže sme certifikovaní, dá sa povedať, že na všetko, čo potrebujeme. Posledný taký najväčší challenge a úspech je TISAX Level 3, kde vlastne sme jeden z 5, keď si dobre pamätám, celosvetových providerov tohto TISAXu na Level 3. A teraz predávam slovo Markovi. Marko, please. You got yours.
So, welcome everybody. I'm going to take you into the world of low code. What does it promise? What are platforms of low code? I will give you some examples. Then it's time for question and answers. But if you have an urgent question, please raise your hand, speak out, and let's have some interaction. Also, be aware, sometimes I ask you questions just to see if the story is going into the right direction. So don't and it's not about the right or the wrong answer, but just, the interaction makes it also a little bit more vivid. And then there's networking. Probably that's the time where all the drinks and stuff are there. There are goodies we received from one of the local platforms vendors. So that's also time to secure your strawberries in that bag. There are strawberries. So, why is low code popular? It's getting more and more popular because it is a concept of making applications with the aid of visual design tools. So you can build application 10 times faster with 70% lesser resources. Hey, now my first question comes, so be aware. 10 times faster with 70% lesser resources. If I would have a Java team that is building an application in 1 year, 10 people, 1 year, what would mean 10 times faster with 70% lesser resources? So in how many months could I build the same application? I heard 1.5, that's good. That's good. 70% lesser resources. So there's an answer. There's a second answer. Yes, indeed. So the promise of low-code platforms is to do it faster with fewer people. So the same result than with 10 Java people in 1 year, you could do in 1.5 months with 3 people. So what does it do? It helps companies driving their digital strategy and their digital transformation. Many of the companies will be challenged doing things smarter with the aid of IT, and not always standard applications that you can buy, like SAP, can help. So local platforms helps you to become a digital company and integrate with all kind of other applications in a smart way. So it accelerates your digital transformation. And you can respond to market changes much more quickly. I'll come to that one in more detail later. And then there is a trend. And the trend is that there is a shortage of people who can program. And the average time it takes for a student from the university to be good at programming in Python, Java, depending if they had it in their curriculum at the university, is still a couple of years. With low code, any of you who even without, I don't know what your background is, but suppose you don't have an IT background, I can teach you doing low code in weeks. So from weeks after being trained in low code, you can contribute making applications and create value for your company. And the trend is that this is what a lot of companies are looking for, because IT people are rare to find, the good ones. We have a couple of them, they're in the IT community, Tatry IT community, but it's really hard to find them. So also the world is getting faster and faster. You know, whatever you say, like, oh my God, the world is changing, it's even changing faster. And with the new sustainability legislation coming from the European Union, with business always knocking on the door, I want this and I want to have it smart. So we need to find a way how to do it faster. So law and legislation are many sources of why things should be different. Sustainability, we are all in supply chain, so we have to start reporting scope 3 emission into integrated supply chains. So how are we going to do that? You have a huge inflation. In Slovakia, many of the companies have capitalized on that we can build things very efficient at the right price. So if the cost of living is going up also here in Slovakia, how to see to it that the inflation is not killing your business? And so what you need to do is to do the things smarter, maybe by doing things digital. Energy savings. Now with energy prices going up tremendously, you know, any app that you can build saving energy would be of an immediate advantage. And we have an example. We are building for one of the highest energy consumers in Slovakia. They are producing steel. We are building an app using low code to save 3 million euros energy cost a year. It's IoT connected with all smart things, and so local platforms you can even select to support all kinds of things. And then there's the war on talent. If you have a good Java programmer, the world wants to have him. So he has, or she has, multiple options to choose to work for, so how to retain them. And this could be an answer to that too, because your subject matter expert in the business can become a maker, so process specialists. And then there is always, there is this friction between business and IT. I worked at Vigo Slovenska Energetica, I hope I pronounced it well. And business wanted everything, and then IT said, well, given that demand, you can come back in 2 years, we start programming it. And up to 60% of the budget went into keeping the lights on. It's keeping that SAP system running, doing day-to-day business. So here you see a clash that you can solve using low code, because you can build things faster and you need fewer people for it. So these are 3 predictions by Gartner. That's an analyst company who looks at the IT market. So local platforms are growing 20% year over year. In 2026, 75% of applications will be built with a form of low code. That doesn't mean that the entire application is built in low code, but there's more and more low code being used. And 80% of all makers will be the citizen developers. That will be people who are not trained to program .NET, Java, Python. Those are the citizen developers. And these are the trends that Gartner is seeing. So, let's go into the promise a little bit deeper. So the low-code development, we already did that exercise, but it's also multi-experience. So yeah, you can create a great web-based application, but you also have to publish it natively on iOS or Android. Should be even on the HoloLens, including AR and VR. Those local platforms are available to actually support that. So it's not only web-based, it is native, and it is on all devices. All of the low-code platforms do integration, because it doesn't make sense to make an application on a stick. You need to have smart applications that go into your SAP, take out your production order, go into your MES system and plan the resources to actually manufacture that, and then combine that data together and give the people in the back office, the planners, the appropriate tools to make the things very efficient. So you can utilize your production lines more efficient. You can see to it that you can do the planning with less people. All those kind of things, you need integrated applications. And trend is also, you can run everything on premise, but yeah, you can utilize the cloud and you can build cloud native applications. But again, also on cloud. And you can even, some of the platforms build SaaS solutions. So if you create from your spreadsheet a nice application, your Excel to a nice application, then yeah, you can run it on the cloud. At Google, for example, they acquired AppSheet, so it's really easy to convert an Excel to a real application. Actually, that's one of the use cases for Mendix as well. You just feed your Excel spreadsheet to Mendix, and it will create an application out of it. And reusability is very important. So if you build a solution once, or a part of a solution like a planning engine, you can use that same planning engine very easily in multiple applications. So if you have, if you do that, you get really value, because everything you put in a template and reuse, you don't need to build twice. So let's have a look at the personas in this world. So on the left-hand side, we have Curious Kate, and she is a typical person in the business. She uses tools, obviously, like Excel, and she's good in creating Excel sheets for maybe onboarding people in HR. She can become a great low-code maker. Then you have Solution Sam. He is a little bit more tech-savvy in business. He probably also uses tools like Power BI, Tableau to make nice reports. Solution Sam is certainly a great builder. And then you have people in IT, like the IT persons that maybe are not that gifted in programming, and then you have the gurus, Hardcore Harry. And low-code low-code platforms also uses all these kind of personas, where the no-code part is just drag and drop. So you can't break the system. It helps you building the applications. In the middle you have low-code, and low-code is actually you're using drag and drop, but you also use a business language to program functions. And those business language in most of the low-code applications is BPMN. And that is the standard, I say, language to describe your processes. So if I show you such a process, you can read it. Trust me, it's just, logic. So we will do that also in a little while. And why is developing enterprise software hard? It's probably not always because, if you have brilliant teams, then it's maybe less hard. But this is what the market is saying. We order a application and 1 year later it's finished, and but it's actually not exactly what we wanted. Also, asking the business, write down all your requirements. If you don't know what to build exactly yet, you can just guess. And we did that in VSE. We hired a company to write our specifications. It took them half a year to write those specifications. It was 270 plus pages. And 1 week after the start of the programming the project, it was already not valid anymore. And it's not that it was a bad requirement, but it is sometimes really hard to do that right. And if you want to change and you say, hey guys, I want to change, they say, yeah, when it's finished, I will take in the first change request. So that's one reason why it is hard. Then there's another reason. What is it? Women are from Venus, men are from Mars. That's also, sometimes I don't understand my wife, although she is speaking English to me, because we don't have the same language. Now, that's certainly in business and IT. So, and to close that gap, there is a way. If we have a visual language that can create IT, that both can read and write, then you have a common language. So that's why visual development is very popular. Everyone can read it and everyone can say, oh yeah, this is exactly what I meant. Oh no, this is not what I meant. And then you can at least talk about it. So, This is like a wrap-up. So this is the promise. It's faster. It can help you to make builders and makers from anywhere in your company, and you can unlock the data from any system. So, and there you see, actually there you see a part of the process already given away. And then there's low-code on steroids. More and more low-code platforms come with ready-made templates. If you want an asset management system, you go to the marketplace and you download a ready-made asset management system for free. Some of them are paid, but in this case, in Mendix, you get it for free. It's there. There are a lot of stuff in the marketplace. That's that one. So if you want to connect to IoT, there is an MQTT client in there. You know, you just drag it into your application, and from that moment you speak MQTT. On the right-hand side, yes, thank you. There you see a flow, and these flows, you can have a marketplace of flows. And this is from QuickWork. This is it's integrating applications, but also there you can just buy or get a ready-made template, so you don't start with an empty sheet. That's the steroids part. So let's have a look in some of the low-code platforms to give you an idea. And there are over 400 low-code platforms. And I'm going to show you a couple of them, and also know that that could be the right one for your company, or you could find a better one for your company. Yeah? So I'm not saying the ones that I will show you later are the best ones. You should really look how to select the platform, and also there we can help. We also want to advise companies what platform to use. But the platforms we deliver are certainly the ones that you can expect in enterprises. So they are in the magic quadrant of Gartner, on the top quadrant. So, but you have to look at capabilities. So what can the platform do? Use cases. How do I want to use the platform? Like I want to build a SaaS product. I want to use citizen developers. And those are all criteria for the use cases. And then you have criteria. Should be sales in Slovakia, should have standard these and these processes out of the box. And that's a way how to select a platform. So this is what Gartner says how to select it, and I totally agree with it. So you identify the technology, that was the capabilities, how to use it, and then evaluate the criteria, what business criteria and development technical criteria you have. Then local platforms, this is what architects like. So is there an IT architect here in the room? No? Okay. They like squares and way how the things are presented. So each local platform is either one or multiple of the boxes here. For example, Pega, it's a great platform and deliver, I think if I guess here, like 4 or 5 of these squares they can fulfill. So if your requirements is to do robotic process automation and you need process integration for automated, but also with a human workflow and case handling, and there should be rules and decision in it, and it should be integrated, then Pega is coloring in all those boxes. So Mendix, another platform that we deliver, not. Pega is also slightly more expensive because it also delivers more. So finding the right platform is very crucial. And also Gartner says, well, this is what you can get from the different types of local platforms. You have MXDP, LCAP, CADP, all kind of crazy terms. Actually, here you could read what it is, but it shows you can expect the green round circle is what you could expect of such a platform, and then so that's a must-have. And then the orange ones is probably it's an option, and the gray ones don't expect to have that from an. For example, ePass don't expect a basic user experience from an ePass platform. So if you have a use case with that, you probably don't look at an ePass. But there's a great saying, to the man with the hammer, every screw is a nail. So if you have somebody who is really in love of one platform, they say, I'm going to build everything with this platform. So they're looking for the holy grail, the one platform that does all. And the question is that smart? If you look, and this is these dots are coming from Computerwoche, they did an analysis in Germany. How many local platforms are there in a company? And then depending on the site, with 500 or less employees, between 500 and 1,000 and 1,000 and more, how many local platforms do you have? And then you see, for example, in bigger companies with more than 1,000 employees, doesn't mean IT employees, that's just employees, then more than 5, already 10 or 11% of all companies say, yeah, we have like more than 5 local platforms already in our company. And some of them are really easier. ServiceNow, almost everybody has ServiceNow for their ITSM, but it's a local platform. Maybe they have Salesforce already for their CRM processes, then you already have 2. So it means what I'm trying to say is don't find just the holy grail and do everything in Pega, or do everything in Mendix, or do everything in QuickWork. Find the right combination, also to reduce the total cost of ownership, and to get more value for the euro you put in IT. So that's why sometimes also choosing the right platform can be hard and can be resulting in an advice. Maybe it's wise to combine Mendix and QuickWork. So I'm going to give some examples, and yeah, I'll start with QuickWork because they sponsored the strawberries and Mendix and Pega didn't do anything, so let's start with QuickWork. QuickWork is an integration platform as a service. So what they promise is whatever data you need from other applications, we bring it together. And it really simplifies things. So here I'm going to, Andre is not that happy with QuickWork because I can build an integration in 2 minutes. You know, we are paid by the hour, so what would I charge you? But it's great, it's really a great tool. If you connect QuickWork to your environment, you immediately have access to 1,500 applications. Which means if QuickWork has a connector for your enterprise application, so not only SAP or Salesforce or ServiceNow, but almost anything, you can immediately start to use it. And I will, in one of the demos, I will build, suppose you are delivering services to a customer and that customer wants to raise complaints in their Jira tool, and you have to take it into your own tool. Suppose you use ServiceNow yourself, and then you want to be informed on it. That we are going to build in 2 minutes using this platform. Now, I already said you an ePass platform would be an easy one, but because there are only 2 balls. Well, it's not like that. If I look at QuickWork, they do almost everything pretty well. So it's a very rich platform for an ePass. And sometimes we also have internal discussions. Are we going to build this with Mendix or with QuickWork or a combination of 2? And it's that powerful it is. So after you have it, then you know everything starts to talk with everything.
Do the platforms itself communicate within each other?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. So within the demonstration, it gets to that point. And actually, it helps you get away from the any-to-any. This is what any vendor sells. You know, connect only once, and then you have access to everything. So enterprises have, on average, 75 different applications. I say on average. If we ask Deutsche Telekom, they will lie. They will probably say 3,000, but it's probably closer to 4,000 than 3,000. So how would you make them work together? Building all point-to-point integrations, no, that's going to be very expensive and difficult to manage. So it's a typical hub and spoke proposition that they have. So you connect it once, every application you connect, then you have access to. So these gentlemen, you can contact them. It's time to dance. This, okay. So these gentlemen, they can help you out if you want to buy such a platform, or you go to Andre, he will also are able to connect you too. So Afsar arranged these nice strawberries for us. Later I give you a demo. So I'm going to the second platform now, Mendix. It's my love. I'm a Mendix maker. I also studied Pega. I am also QuickWorks certified. But I started with these systems because Mickey, my superior, it's boss, he liked it very much, so he thought, oh, let's pull that crazy Dutch guy in. And so this was the start for low-code in T-Systems in Slovakia. What is Mendix? It has 3 layers. So you, while you're building, you build a user interface. You can add logic in this very user-friendly process language. But you also build the data layer. Yeah, my kids, they are still in Squolka in Svit. And you know what it is with little kids in Squolka. They always hug each other. So you get all the illnesses of every family in Svit. So thank you for that. Yeah, the school is called Galupka. If you ever want to complain, you know where to find them. And so the tooling helps you to build the user interface. It has all kind of ways to do that very fast, like widgets. Those are already pre-built things. You can just drag and drop them in. Building blocks, design properties, so everything that makes it easy for you to build something. Then the logic you can add in 3 ways. There's workflow logic that you can add. So any company nowadays have, like, you request something and somebody approves, and now this is workflow. You can have server-side execution of logic, so it's getting a little bit IT-ish. That's built in a microflow, and client-side is built in a nanoflow. Server-side in Mendix is Java, client-side is JavaScript. Yes, the ITers would say logic. You can drag and drop your data model, make the data visualization layer, and then you can publish it in any supported database. Could be SAP HANA if you want, could be Oracle, Microsoft SQL, but also popular, I use it a lot, Postgres and other free databases. So plenty of possibilities to do something with your data. And there's the nice annotation again, what is easy to read for everyone. So you don't only get to build the platform, but you get a whole tool for the whole life cycle of your application. So from ideate, where you are thinking of how should the application look like. So you interact with a product owner and business a lot, and you write down everything in the ideate. Then you actually start build it. There are tools in there to test it, and finally you are deploying it. And you can deploy it on-premise, you can deploy it in the sub-cloud, in the Mendix private cloud, in Azure, Amazon, even in OTC if you should desire to do it in the open Telekom cloud. All of that is possible. And this is the technical layout, how everything is done. So for the techies under us, there's a CI/CD pipeline doing all the magic, and then there's a component that actually spins off a container, it runs on Kubernetes, it has horizontal scalability, it just says the load balancer, okay, here you have another pod, go and have fun. It takes about 6 minutes to push another pod with the application into the system, so horizontal scalability, yeah, it's easily done. Then there are a lot of different shades. I leave that. We'll probably distribute the slides in PDF. Yeah? Hmm? Yeah. Okay, we are doing that. So this one you can read. Because I wanted to go to this. What are you building with Mendix? Don't build an SAP system with Mendix. I wouldn't do that. Let SAP be SAP. Or if you have already a billing system, integrate the billing system. Don't build a billing system. That's called a system of record. That's not, you can do it, and there are some examples that Mendix is doing that really great, but the strength is to build innovative apps, because business doesn't know what you should build. So, you know, they say in the first sprint is 1 week, they say, give me a picture where my ship is and give me the temperature of the container on the ship, so that we can, when there's an insurance claim, we can prove by the data that this container was not the top container. These are the temperature condition of a container in a ship. That's this app. So probably IT business doesn't know exactly what they want. So together with the makers from business and IT, you make such an app. But week by week you make it better. And we see this also in the internal apps that we add. When we demo it after a week, then business says, oh yeah, but if you can do this, can you also do that and that and that? So the app gets, according to business wishes, week by week, and you steer it. So that's the power of low-code, that it's so easy to change something. Then there's a customer engagement app. There are already three banks in the world using Mendix as their payments app. So you can really build, and there are millions of users of such a payment app. If you think of FUP or here, those are massive applications. That's the sweet spot of Mendix. Operational efficiency. Here's the example that I already gave. Get your data out of SAP. Get data out of your MES system and take smart decisions how to produce your next batch of product that you deliver. Operational efficiency. And then there's legacy migration. If a company exists already a couple of years, then probably you have applications still running in Lotus Notes or in Access, and you don't want to touch it because, yeah, even the guy who made it is already gone. Maybe you have an SAP system, you have to migrate to S/4HANA because in 2027 you have to. Then everything you build in ABAP 4 is legacy. So then how to rebuild those applications in a modern way? Don't buy Lotus Notes 5 or don't go again into Access. This would be an easy way out for legacy into a very modern way of replatforming those applications. And this we can do as T-Systems. For example, you just give the access, and a couple of days later we give back a Mendix application. As easy as that. Then they always throw with names. If you have a sharp eye, you see a lot of Dutch names in there. Not because I'm Dutch, but Mendix was founded in the Netherlands. It's bought by Siemens, acquired by Siemens 4 years ago. but a lot of these names are Dutch, but they are really big customers. Mendix always shows up in the magic quadrant in the top, but also is Pega, OutSystem. So yeah, that's the package selection again. So talking about Pega, it's the next platform, and we're almost there. We're almost there. We are going to see the platforms live. Pega is a typical platform that you would use to manage your end-to-end processes. So it's very popular in Germany, where you have to do things in SAP and outside of SAP, but you need to keep track on your cases. Like in the public sector, we have a lot of German, well, they are Bundesamten and high government who have to execute tasks. Customers always complain you're slow, so they use Pega to keep track of everything in all the processes and automate them as much as possible. Also here I will show you, it's a little bit small so you cannot read it, but this is actually this is the developer studio. So you just create new blocks and tell them what they need to do, and then in the background the whole application is being created. So it's a little bit harder to learn. So in Mendix you're up to speed in 3 weeks. With Pega it takes you 10 weeks, but it's still doable. But then there are different use cases for that. So again, yeah, that's why Pega is coming back, but I already explained that one. I'm going to give you 2 demos, Mendix and QuickWork. I'll start with QuickWork, then Mendix. I'll keep it short. If you want to have it longer, I urge you use the networking and make an appointment with me. I can do a lengthy discussion on this. So actually, I'm looking also at the next slide, and I have no clue why it's in. And this one is for after the demo. Start already thinking what we are looking at, this picture. So just for you to think of. So first demonstration, QuickWork. I'm already that old that I have to take my glasses off to read my computer. So QuickWork, this is my development environment. I'm in the demo one, and I create a journey, which is their name for integrating. So
You can zoom it in a little bit, make it bigger.
yeah, that's a good tip. I think.
Yep.
Like this?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So I'm not going to change the journey name. I immediately go into the candy. So I promise you we are going to connect Jira to ServiceNow and then send out a message. So this is the hardest part. Type in Jira here, service desk. When a new request comes in, I have to link my account, of course, because you know the platform needs to connect to the Jira. But let's create the second step. There's a simple action. I'm going to ServiceNow. Oh, there's a lot of, yeah, here it is, ServiceNow. And I need to create a record there. So, okay, let's create a record. And then I wanted to send out a message. So I click simple action. And this time I want to go to Telegram. And I will send out a message. So I'm not only integrating the data, but I also going to tell somebody, hey, this happened, please take action. I can even program a button in it, and he can take action from Telegram. As easy. So if I link my account here, that's a nice one. No, it's probably because I'm too excited for this. So let's link the account. Okay, doesn't really matter. But here you get all the candy for free. Here you have all the variables that are in all the exchanges of Jira ticket, and you can actually just drag and drop. So if you create a message, you say, I have a message with an issue with this description, and you drag it into the message. And so all the data elements, you just drag and drop into your integration. So in minutes, you build this without technical knowledge. Okay, I'm going to give you this one. You have to know what the data model looks like, so you have to know what description actually means. So you do probably need to read the documentation of Jira to see, is it this field or that field? But the beauty of it, it's so easy to change, so you can try it. Ah, this was not the one, this is it. So you can also, without reading the manual, iteratively just build it. So doing that, then, yeah, how many connectors are there? Many, 1,500. So I'm not going to show you all 1,500, but just the first 3 pages. So there's a lot in there. And if yours is not in it, it takes quick work 3 to 7 days to build it. So we also we have this very special thing in T-Systems. It's called the OTIP interface. Whenever people are in T-Systems, they immediately go, oh, that's the worst thing we have to integrate with. So we are now ordering an OTIP interface connector there, so that the integration can be done in minutes. So all the SDMs are really happy because they say, yes, finally we can communicate with the customers. So there are many people waiting for that connector to arrive. So that will be in 7 days from now. Then I promise you to show Mendix. This is what a serious application looks like. If you look at the data model, this is really a serious application with a data model like this. Yeah, that's the more experienced, but yeah, let's view the app. Here we have the app, so it even looks beautiful. So it's not just that. And you can, this is the low-code advisor. This can help you select the platform. So if you go to critical capabilities and you select, for example, the Gartner report of this date, you'll get all the data points in there, and you can, yeah, you can play with what is important for me. This is more important. This is less important, and automatically the platform will show you. But it's just an example what you can build. Then creating a new application from scratch. We start with a blank application, and we call this demo. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. I'm going to finish in 3 minutes, so that's 7 o'clock. I will promise you we start with the networking. So it will be a very short demo. So when starting with a blank app, here it is. I have nothing from data in there, so if I have something like a customer, and probably the customer has a name, so I'm adding an attribute with the name of the customer. That one, and then the customer can order something, so we have something like an order. And let's have an attribute like product. Then you want to say, okay, orders can be sold to customers, so there's a relation to the order and a customer. Great. It's a many-to-one relation. And if I would then say, let's build the application for this. Hoopla. That's done. Then let's put it on the home website. So I will I will do it quick and dirty. I want to see orders. Let's do it a little bit better. This is the drag and drop thing. Then, I just have two drops. So order overview is here, and then customer overview I put there. I need to stop this application in order to run the other one. So that's probably the longest part. Now I'm going to publish it. So it's going to, what it does now, it's going to put all my code in GitHub. So you can work with multiple people. So there's the CI/CD pipeline. When it's in GitHub, it will tell, currently I run it locally. So it will then build everything that I just created here locally, and I can run it. If I click the publish, I will do that after I'm showing it that it runs here. It's going to the Mendix free cloud, and it populates it there in the Mendix free cloud. You can use it there. So it is still building something, the connection bus, a license service, MX admin, of course, otherwise I cannot enter the app. And it's running, and this is what our app is looking like. I can create a new customer, new demo 1. You know what, I create 2 customers, demo 2. Well, I almost missed that one. I also want to create an order, new order, a product. I sell this to customer, demo 1, save. Now, nothing fancy, but I built an application in really short time. And see, I didn't even create the pages. That was, I just said, build the pages for me. Then it's still some work to make it with your own design system. Trust me, and it gets more and more complex, but easy applications, anyone can build. So I end, as I said, 7 o'clock. I made it, end of the demonstration. So then we go back to this question. What's this? This.
Picture.
2 points. Okay, so I can't blame you and some of you in the audience because you're probably not old enough, but if you had a record player, this is the picture on the album from the Eagles, Hotel California. It was damn hard. But what is the key message in Hotel California? You can check in, but
You cannot check out.
you cannot leave. Exactly, you cannot leave. So I'm going to give you this one also. It's great to have local platforms, but what is the exit strategy? What if you want no low-code environment anymore? Then, depending on the platform you choose, you have bad luck, very bad luck, ultra bad luck, or you have a nice exit. But some of the local platforms really doesn't have an exit strategy. So you have to just rebuild everything that you build in the local platform. It's not bad to know that up front. Right? So it can help you in taking the right decision. So you have black box, you just use a lot of people and then try to do whatever that application does without knowing what it is doing in the inside. Then white box, if you can read the BPMN, then you know already a little bit more about the functionality. There are platforms like Mendix where you can have a programmatic exit. So there's an API, you just have to find somebody who has already APIs and thing available how to build out Mendix to whatever you want. Actually, there are a lot of customers switching from other platforms to Mendix according to their marketing team. So probably it's also the other way around, but I don't think that the marketing team would tell that. And then also your data has to migrate, so there are platforms with built-in data migration tools that helps you. Otherwise you can use external database tools, and of course you can use an iPaaS for it. iPaaS are really great if you have Bluefield, typical IT term, Bluefield implementation where the old application should live next to the new application and they still need to communicate. Then you could use an iPaaS to it, and that's easing up the exit strategy. This is what I wanted to say. So it's not only, only good news, but you also have to think about the bad news. If you get married, you probably don't think of the exit strategy yet. At least I didn't. That comes later. But, if you plan ahead, you think of the exit strategy, at least in IT. I wouldn't do it in your personal life. So thank you very much for being here. Can I give you the word, and then I hope to meet you in the networking.
Don't leave. We have questions. You forgot.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but you also ask questions. So, questions.
Anyone in the public? Ľudia po slovensky. Okay, we have Slido. We have questions.
Okay, Slido.
I've been reading them a little bit. So I start with the funny one. So it's an easy one.
Okay.
If everything takes about 10 minutes to build up, what do you do with the rest of the time?
That's a good one. So, yeah, trust me, I'm in how many projects? Like 7, 8 different projects at the same time. So they will drive me crazy with more projects, and drink coffee.
A lot of coffee?
No, I have to cut down on the coffee. Let me say it in that way.
So let's start from the beginning. So this sounds interesting, but how long does it take to really achieve 10 times faster, 70% less resources point? Is it a training? How is the real world experience?
Yeah. So I told you after 3 weeks, depending on the platform, after 3 or 10 weeks you can build, then the journey starts. But after half a year, you are really capable of building anything that you can imagine. So if you can dream it, you can build it. And what most companies do is they have experts on the back burner. So 20% of the team is then experienced Mendix makers, and then they just ask, I don't know how to do this, can you help me? And then 10 minutes later, they are helped.
If I may step into this, because I think I have something to tell too.
Ah, okay.
I don't have IT background. I never used programming nor knew any programming language, nothing. And this guy signed me up on 3 levels of Mendix: beginner, intermediate, and expert. I'm already certified beginner programmer. I finished the training for the intermediate, and I'm planning to do the test this weekend. So basically that's it. And I didn't have a clue about this. So if he tells me to do this, I could do it with his help, of course. So it's that easy.
So yeah, and if real technicians who are into networking, there is this OC model, and the anagram for remembering all the OC layers is: please do not trust salespeople advice. But this one you can trust. He can build, so it's damn easy.
Yeah.
Sorry for that one.
No offense taken. You're completely right.
Okay.
All right. So, are there any studies of how good or better are low-code applications versus traditional ones? What about like the maintenance cycle, or maybe something else, like studies?
Yes, there are studies. Forrester publishes the economical impact of local platforms in companies, where you have real examples what it did. You have to pay licenses. And they compare what you gain with it. So the run is easier, the lifetime cycles are easier. You have 6 years time between you really have to upgrade a Mendix application. Advice is to do it a little bit more often. But yeah, one of the logos, Nexus, they build 110 applications in Mendix, and they have 1 FTE on maintenance.
Sounds scary.
So,
as an IT person, one FTE for maintenance.
Yeah.
And AI is coming.
Že low-code je na tom fajn, že napríklad keď ste ten citizen developer, tak môžete aj bez toho, že by ste mali nejaký brutál programming knowledge, vojsť do tej aplikácie a si to upraviť sami, keď niečo viete. alebo potrebujete zmeniť, lebo často sa stáva, že keď napíšete developerom v nejakom veľkom korporáte, že potrebujem zmeniť nejakú banalitu, tak vám povedia, že tak 2 týždne, lebo nestíham. Čiže a tuto viete zmeniť sami. Takže to je veľká výhoda. You can change it by yourself if you're citizen developer.
Yep.
Okay. You already touched the question about licensing, and we have a question about licensing. What about application or ownership license if you create something with low-code platform? So who owns the? I think I understand the question this way. You write the application in the app platform, then who owns the license for the application, or what's the licensing relationship between? If I did not get the question right, correct me please, whoever wrote the question, okay?
Okay. So about intellectual property, it's the customer. If we build applications for a customer, it's in the contract. Either we are the owner of the IP or the customer is owner of the IP. You can even monetize your products built in, for example, Mendix, by putting it on the marketplace, and you say, I want to have 5,000 euro for this. Everyone who pulls this pays me 5,000 euro. The IP is yours. It even makes a black box out of it, so people cannot look into your code as well. So it is possible to protect your IP, and you can, with security, you can see to it that only your team or people can access the code that is built by you.
Okay. Does it answer the question? I don't know, but I hope yes.
I have one more, maybe on two of you. In T-Systems, there is T-System is making applications in low-code tools for clients, or there is, or you are working for T-Systems internal application, or how is?
Now, yeah, good question. We build them mainly for clients. So typically we learn you as a client how to use the platform, and we will be just those experts helping you to get it done. And when you have lack of resources, you can say, oh, I want these makers full time. That's possible. So it's a very flexible way. So we build them for externals.
Okay. Can generative AI create a low-code application?
Actually, that's a good question. The answer is yes. And Mendix is already working at it. So at the end of this year, your possibility also, if you're a good prompter, you can even have generative AI work at it. Actually, what I use, I'm pretty lazy, so that's why I choose low code. So I even use Agent GPT. Anyone heard of Agent GPT? It's Jet GPT talking to itself, schizophrenic Jet GPT. So I say, Agent GPT, write me 120 user stories for a customer. This is the customer profile. This is what the application should do. And it spits out 120 user stories. And then I just select, this one makes sense, this one makes sense, this one makes sense, this one not. So yeah, so there is a lot of usage of generative AI also with low code, in low code, but also in managing your project. So yes, and we even built in the low code advisor, there is a JetGPT integrator. So
okay,
you can ask JetGPT for advice if you don't know.
All right. What's the typical cost, if you can do that, or estimate, of a simple application like the demo app?
How many lines of code?
No, typical cost, I think it's money.
Cost.
How much would it cost me as someone who wants to implement that kind of
so
simple application?
Such a simple application, writing the proposal is probably taking longer than writing the application. So it would be a couple of thousand max. I would not say hundreds because I don't know the application yet. So it's and the license. There is a standard app. So there's the free app, and everyone can use it without limits. Free app. The only thing, it falls asleep after a certain time when you are not using it. Then it takes about 30 seconds for you to start it up. So use it. Everything is free. No license is paid. Standard license is, a basic license is €50 per month, and you get 5 named users. each additional user costs you 10 euros per month. So
Is
that's
it
it.
kind of standard for every platform, or they?
No, yeah, not really. No, yeah, the bigger they start with 50,000.
Okay, so it's not the same. But there are possibilities.
They
for
have,
anyone.
so yeah,
Okay.
and 50,000, it's really not that expensive if you can save the company millions of euros. You know, it's cost revenue.
Okay. Do you know Node Red Load Code platform? Very
Yes.
specific.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's-
Specific question,
yeah.
specific answer, but what else?
You want to explain me what it is, or no? So
I don't know,
there are open, and maybe that's a good one to tell. There are also open source local platforms, like this one. There's also Xamarinda. Probably somebody knows here. But that's the local platform on the .NET side, so if you want to build low code. And there's a Slovakian company, Iteria. They have a local platform that generates high code. So the end product of the local platform is high code. So you can run it without licenses.
Okay.
So there are many things. So, and that's part of the advice that we can give you. If you're a typical, this is yours, then yeah, we will advise you to use that one. If Mendix, we advise you Mendix.
Good. So you told us a lot of things about advantages. What is, from your point of view, the biggest disadvantage of low code?
Yeah. So the exit strategy, I gave you already one.
Okay.
And probably, if I would write the same application in traditional languages, it would consume less energy to run it. So it's because there's a lot of overhead in generated code. So I would say from sustainability point of view, not the most effective. But we are talking here about watts, not about kilotons of CO2.
Is it more about the code itself, or more users, more resources? What's it more about? Is it constant after some point?
No, it's actually very constant. But if you look at the container size in your Kubernetes, if I would code it with native high code languages, I can use slightly smaller containers.
Okay. Now the question which popped up in my head: what about scalability of applications in those platforms? Imagine you have spikes like Black Friday and you have e-commerce applications.
Yeah. So that's depending on the platform. That's really depending on the platform. There are platforms that create a client-server application. So this is vertical scalability. The database is the bottleneck. So the larger you build your database, the better it performs. But Mendix, for example, is horizontal scalable. And you can just set the boundary in, so if it runs in Amazon, so you just say the limit is 20 containers just to prevent your credit card to be drained, and then it automatically fires up if it's Black Friday until that 20, and even then you get a notice, do you want to sell more, then please pull your credit card and add some containers to it. So scalability on demand.
Okay. How does Zapier fit in the ecosystem? Is it a typical low-code platform, Zapier?
I heard about it because QuickWork has a connector to it. I don't know exactly. So sometimes when we advise a customer, we also start with asking which other platforms do you consider, and then we do a research on them. So if somebody who asked the question wants to tell me what it is, I would be love to hear it. So use the networking for it.
So we have a networking for this. And there's one more. Is there something you cannot do with low code?
Yes. I wouldn't build a 3D game with low code. No, yeah, the 2D games can, and there are a lot of examples in the marketplace where you can free games, and actually those are those nerds who want to tell, yeah, but you can do it, but 3D, no, forget it. I wouldn't do that.
Good.
Anything else? Yes.
in case you need some new connector in Quick Work, you have to buy it from the Quick Work, or you can do it by.
So currently you have to buy it from them, but the development will be that you will be taught how to do it yourself. So and you know. There's, for example, there are technology connectors in there. If you have an application that's talking REST or SOAP, yeah, it's there because there's a REST interface and a SOAP interface. But if you have a very specific legacy application, they have to build it 3 to 7 days. They build it in India, so it's not that expensive to build.
Thank you.
Máme ďalšie otázky. Slajdo sa minulo. Za to sa nám neminulo ešte jedlo a nápoje.
Okay. Yeah. So let me finish one thing. Those were great questions, and I'm proud of you with the quality of the questions. That really shows me that we are here also to help you find the things, because not always I get these good questions. So that's for sure an applause for you.
Should we also make some excitements for our future plans in here?
Yes. Yeah. So whenever you think, what am I going to do on the 11th of the 11th? Maybe at 11 o'clock or 11 past 11. You could be attending a hackathon, a low-code hackathon. If you really want to see, okay, but now I want to actually do it myself. We are organizing with the Tatry IT and co-working. We are going to organize a hackathon, open hackathon. People can come. We also intend to do high code versus low code, to do a little competition to see, is it really faster? Because then the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So look at the website of co-working and Tatry IT community, and also we will be telling about it. We will be organizing here a hackathon, and if you think it's fun, join. And if you think, but I cannot do low code, yes you can. You know, then you are in the IDA team and just tell me what needs to be built. So we will have a nice competition. We will have skilled people from us helping you out, but it will make your hands dirty yourself.
Yes, and you can learn whatever you have seen today.
And you know, also feel free if we do the Mendix hack and you say, let's do some integrations with Quick Work, we'll bring Quick Work along as well. You know, let's just have fun. Food will be there. You can sleep here somewhere on the premises. If you really want to win, you probably stay awake 24 hours. It will end 11:23:11. So that's
11
p.m. And then we'll have a jury looking at the results, and then you can win something as well. Not only knowledge, but there's going to be a prize as well. Not only strawberries, but a little bit slightly bigger prize.
Yes. So
how big? The mug. No, I think we will come up with some hard euros to win.
Okay. Ja dúfam, že sme teda vytvorili trošku excitement po slovensky, prepáčte mi.
Excitemento? No, I don't know, sorry.
Niečo zaujímavé pre vás, na čo sa môžete tešiť. November, predpokladaný dátum 10.11. začiatok, koniec 11.11. o 11.11. A je sa na čo tešiť, budeme vás informovať. Ďakujem Andrejovi a Markovi za dnešný...
But it wouldn't be possible without Milan and Viki. So,
kompletný prehľad. A nech sa páči, my končíme livestream a presúvame sa ku networkingu a presúvame sa ku jedlu. Nech sa páči, príjemný večer.
Ďakujem.
Poďme na to. Ďakujeme.
My ďakujeme za organizáciu, samozrejme.